Well, good morning. I've been doing a lot of thinking recently. I've been chatting with some friends of mine, and a lot of people I've been talking to is like, Dan, how did you do it? I mean, really, my life in the last 6 months has been pretty amazing ride. From living in Wisconsin, moving my family halfway across the country to move to Florida, and a lot of people are like, I want to hear your story, Dan. How did you do that? And it's not all that complex. Sorry, my dog wants me to play catch with him this morning, so we're going to do that during this video. But really, if I was to break it down, what are the three main things that allowed me to scale my business? I mean, literally, I went from $0 to consistently making $100,000 months. And the great thing about this is I'm not anyone special. And what I want to tell you today is how you can do the exact same thing in your business if you follow these three things. The first one is leveraging systems. Many of you guys watching this video right now, there's only so many hours of the day. If you're one human being like I am, you have 24 hours to do as much work as humanly possible. Now, many of you watching this are probably doing another job, right? Maybe you have multiple jobs. Maybe you're working a day job and then door dashing at night and trying to squeeze in real estate. I get it. Our dollar does not go nearly as far as it used to. But one of the things that I had to learn early on when I had to make it work, like I had a partnership and they were good friends of mine that said, Dan, we love you. We just don't love this business anymore. So within 30 days, I had to transform everything, rebrand myself. I had to basically get new processes, new systems. And one of the main things that helped me, guys, was leveraging technology. So the first thing I would suggest is you need to find yourself some type of CRM. There's a lot of good ones out there in the real estate industry. I personally use Simply. If you guys want that, I'll throw a link in that, or send me a DM and I can get you that. There's also another tool called FreedomSoft. I know Rob Swanson personally, great guy, great system. There's tools like Podio that you can use. And then there's even some tools in like Go High Level, if you're into that world, where you can customly build out your own CRM. I'd say early on, try to find something out of the box, like you can plug and play. Early on, you're just not gonna have the time to create something. But as your business grows, getting a system like Go High Level can be a phenomenal tool. But I personally love Simply, and it serves me, and I have a team. So you'll find you may go through some different iterations. But the nice thing about a CRM is this, is you can leverage technology. A lot of times there's automations built in, there's AI, in which things will happen that you don't have to do. Things like sending out text messages, like maybe sending out emails, things of that nature that can automatically happen even though you're not physically doing it. How cool would that be is if an automatic text message went off and a seller gets back to you and says, hey, I'm interested in selling, right? So that's the first piece. Have that. That'll also give you some organization for your leads as they come in. One of the biggest things that most people fall into the trap of is a lead comes in, you call it once or twice, and you never get back to it. The goal really is in the follow-up, and having a CRM and systems will make sure that you have it in the proper funnels that 6 months from now, you can still be reaching out to that same person. Because the number of deals that we've brought in after months of talking to them or them coming in is astounding. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you begin to grow, you're going to realize you're going to need more people. For me, the first person I brought in was someone to help me take phone calls, or what I would call a lead manager. And I found an amazing human being going internationally. I have a good, he's almost a friend of mine now at this point, but he lives in Nigeria, and this guy's an absolute rock star. He speaks English very well. He's a guy I'd sit down and have a cup of coffee with or a drink with. And that's the biggest thing, is find someone who works with you. I would also say, as you're bringing in people, you want to make sure you have core values for your business. I made this mistake a few times. I've had to rebuild my business 3 times, right? And the first 2 times I didn't do this very well. But what I did is I set up clear outlined values of what I wanted my company to be. I wrote down, there's like 5 core values and a mission statement. And I've sold that to the people that this is what we're gonna do. Every decision that we make, run through these 5 core values. And if it doesn't meet that, we just don't do it. And that goes with our vendors. That even goes with potential sellers. If our sellers don't align, if a seller would ask us to do something that would be outside of our core values, we would just politely say, you know what, we're maybe not a good fit for you in this transaction. But finding the right people who align with your values and then give them the tasks. Now, early on, you're not gonna have any systems and processes. Well, here's the deal. As they're doing a task, have them record it, have you record it, and then you can go to a tool like Loom, which is a screen recording program, and it will actually, through AI, give you an SOP or a standing operating procedure. You save that, and slowly but surely you're building out your own playbook for your business. And it's automatically happening. You only have to do it once, and then it's there forever. And as you change processes, you re-record a new video, you have a new SOP. So it's pretty simple, and it's automatically done for you with a tool like Loom. Loom is very inexpensive. You can get the free version, but as you grow, I can't remember what I pay per month, but it's well worth that. So you have that element, right? You find the right people. I would say early on, just finding someone to do some calling for you, whether it be cold calling, or I paid a company for cold calling, an external company. And right now I have someone who works for me who just does and qualifies the leads, make sure that they are worth me speaking to or my team speaking to, because you don't have enough time in your day to call all these people. So if someone could set you up for 3 to 5 appointments per day, you can fit that in your schedule. But to dial out 80 to 100 calls, that might not be the best use of your time. Now, early on, I would say there's value in you making those calls, because you're going to hear patterns, you're going to hear things that can help you train. And if you have no knowledge of how to do that, then you need to get some training, right? You need to find some sales skills training. There's a great guy, Jerry Green, personal friend of mine. He has probably some of the best sales training for new investors for real estate. So look him up, thejerrygreen.com, if you want that. The last piece of this, and dare I say the most important, is you need to work on you. Because what happens as an entrepreneur is things don't always go as planned. Things are gonna go sideways. Deals are going to twist and turn. There's not been a single transaction I've ever had that went exactly the way I thought. And if you don't have the mental and the fortitude to push past some of that stuff, you'll fold like a wet paper towel. So how did I build identity? One, I had to splat once or twice. And what I mean by that is you need to have kind of one of those coming to Jesus moments where it's like it's all on the line, and I was kind of forced to have to change. Secondly, I put myself in environments to grow. So I went to teachings and seminars. I went to a Tony Robbins event, transformational. The other thing I did is I got a mentor, right? They say surround yourself with people who you want to be. You want to level up? Put yourself in rooms of people that you want to be. That is how you level up. Don't be around people that aren't what you want to be. Now, we have our family and friends, and there's a time and place for that in our lives, but you ultimately have to find other individuals who can help you grow. And sometimes you have to pay to be in those rooms, sometimes not. The easiest way, okay, you go to a local real estate investment meeting. There's usually clubs all across the US. You type in REIA or go to meetup.com, find other investors and just go there and hang out. I mean, everyone had to start somewhere, right? So don't be afraid to be a newbie. Just ask great questions and add value whenever possible. Maybe early on, you're going out and bird dogging some deals for people, right? Don't be too proud to do the hard stuff early on. Put in the reps. That pays off. The other thing I can challenge you the most is read. Find some good books. Find some good real estate investments, some entrepreneur books. There's tons of them out there. Good books like Think and Go Rich by Napoleon Hill, How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's just so many great books that are old school to some of the new school stuff. But just start reading. And the other thing I would say the most important piece of this is the faith piece, is that my relationship with Jesus Christ is a foundational thing. And early on, I've went through a lot of journeys and twists and turns. I have other videos that you can watch that's talked about that. Actually, I've wrote a book that talks about that journey. So if you want to hear my story, hit me up. I can get you a copy of that book as well. But that faith piece is when everything seems like it's falling apart, I can rest in that. Because you need to have calm in the chaos. And when all this stuff is going twisted, you cannot make a good decision if you can't have clarity. And understanding your identity in Jesus Christ is so important. So inside of the faith piece, understanding yourself as a human being, and then understanding your identity as a business owner, what it takes to get there, that is the important piece, the most important piece of this business. The systems are good, the people are good, but if you don't have yourself figured out, you're a real hurting unit. So you take those three things, compound them together, and that, my friends, is how you can take yourself from going from making $0 a month to consistently making $100,000 a month in your business. I mean, think about this. That's more than most people make in a year that you can be generating consistently within your business. Not saying it's easy, and it's not going to come overnight. For me, it took me 8 months to kind of get myself into some traction to consistently doing that type of deal flow. For you, it might take longer. You know what? You might be better than me. To be truthfully honest, it took me 12 years to figure out that much, right? It's only in the last 3 years have I really kind of put this all together. But the good news is you don't need to wait as long as I did. I was just stubborn. I was stuck in my old ways. I didn't see my new identity. And once I had that breakthrough mentally, guys, that is what allowed the systems and the people to work. So I don't know where you're at in this journey in real estate, but the great thing about it is you too can make a move. You too could move your family halfway across the country. It's just you got to put in the work. First, it starts up here, and the rest is the execution, which is really the easy part. Hey, you want to follow more tips like this? Make sure you follow, like, comment on the YouTube here, as more of this stuff is to come. All right, have yourself a great day. Take action. Take massive imperfect action today on some of the things that you heard. And I look forward to talking to you the next. Later.